When two people have chemistry,
It's unmistakable.
the post-up crew. Two sports analysts that love hoops. Meet,
Cyrus Rogers and Kaunda Chama.
catch the chemistry, catch post-up. Talking all things basketball. Go to nba.com for news, opinion, and play-by-play commentary.
Hello and welcome to the Post Up Show. My name is Cyrus Rogers.
I'm Kaunda Chama in the regular season.
He is regular season K. So we're going to be talking about none other than Jimmy Butler. His move to the Philadelphia 76ers has caused a bit of a stir in the NBA, and it's one that I think we both love.
Yes, Cyrus. I mean, look, everybody spoke a lot about, I'm going to keep this brief, how LeBron left the East and then opened up the East, and
Yeah.
Kawhi came, and they're
Yeah,
like, okay,
yeah.
Kawhi's shaking up the East. Now another big money player has come back to the East. Obviously, he was the Chicago Bulls. He went to the
That's
Timberwolves.
true. That's
now
true.
he's back with the Sixers, and I think this is fantastic.
I think I could put the ball in a basket, whether it be a jump shot, a layup, post up, in transition. We'll find ways to make things work. If I gotta spend countless amount of hours shooting tray balls, I'll do that. I know what I'm capable of doing when I'm out there on the floor. I think it's gonna be easy to play off the guys that we have. Shoot with JJ as much as possible because he tends to make a lot of shots out there on the floor. So all I ever wanted to do is win at any and every level. I have a new opportunity to do that here, and that's the goal. That will always be the goal.
It's a kind of move that changes the whole landscape of the Eastern Conference because the Philadelphia 76ers had sort of been, heirs to the throne in a way, because when you looked at them last season, they really looked as if they were trying to do something different. And with the pieces that they had in that squad, they went far, but they didn't go far enough. Jimmy Butler gives them a completely different option. He gives them scoring, gives them defense. So I think it's something that's really going to shake up that team.
Look, when we speak about two-way players, I think Jimmy Butler, or Jimmy Buckets as I call him, when
Mr.
we
Buckets.
speak on the phone.
Yes, of course. Mr. Buckets, is that you?
I think he gives them a lot on both ends,
Yeah.
both ends of the court. And I like what he said in a recent interview, that he's not the most skilled player
No.
in the world, but he works hard. He's
Yes,
the first
he
person
does.
in the gym, last person out, putting in some extra time when everybody else maybe goes to sleep or goes to eat.
When
So
they sleep, we work.
that's the kind of work ethic, Mamba mentality, if you will, that I love about
You and that
Jimmy
Kobe,
Butler.
Kobe words of wisdom coming from Kaunda Chama.
And now, if you look at the starting five of the Philadelphia 76ers, some teams in the East and the West are in trouble.
And that's true, because when you look at it, you've got JJ Redick, who can actually shoot three-pointers. You've got Joel Embiid, who is lighting up the charts.
Oh,
He's
my
putting
word.
in points. He's grabbing rebounds. He's really doing a lot. He got his first triple-double of his career the day that Jimmy Butler makes his debut for the Sixers. I don't think that's an accident.
That could be the Jimmy Butler effect, if you will.
I think it is. And you're looking at a Markelle Fultz who actually needs to start delivering a little bit more, with Ben Simmons also part of that equation. So I think that when you look at the Eastern Conference, these guys who might have been sort of coasting, thinking, okay, fine, if you're the Raptors, you're thinking maybe we just got to look out for the Celtics, possibly the Bucks. The Sixers don't seem to be a threat, but now when you look at the Sixers, their record stands at 9-7. But with Jimmy Butler there, they really are a handful.
Yes, Cyrus, and the bench is not the deepest, but they've got some decent pieces there. You're talking the likes of Wilson Chandler.
Yeah.
He brings about some good, and he can be a starter in a situation where you don't want to start a Markelle Fultz. You can start a Wilson Chandler. So their bench is not the deepest, but it can be effective, and I think this is nice for the East, and I think it's nice for the NBA.
It is. It really is. In fact, if there's one thing that I like about this move, is that it happened now. Because when you think about it, often teams like to add pieces just after the All-Star break or just before, when the trade deadline is looming, and there could be a couple of power forwards that they could bring on board, on lesser contracts, and then fill up that bench. Because, like you said, the bench production is really going to be an interesting thing for them.
Oh yeah.
Let me just ask you a question though. Do you think the Raptors, Bucks, Celtics, and the Pacers maybe are really looking at this and thinking, okay, we really got to work hard now?
Look, Cyrus, I think they knew they had to work hard regardless. But when you bring such a big money player, and I mean money as in performance.
Yeah, no, he's a big-time player.
Big-time
He's
player,
an all-star.
like Jimmy Butler, an all-star, a person with so much impact. I know things didn't go so well at the Timberwolves, but he comes to another young team in the 76ers, which already did well without him. And without Markel Fultz last season. Now you got a Fultz who's working his way back.
He needs to work,
And you've got the experience of Jimmy Butler. I think just from the rumors themselves, I'm sure the team started switching up and saying, if Jimmy Butler does come to the 76ers, how do we play around that situation?
Obviously, you can't talk about Jimmy Butler without the elephant in the room. People talking about his attitude. And obviously one of the things that people talk about is, does he have the right temperament to actually make this team succeed? Could he, if he's picked on younger players before, as he did at the Minnesota Timberwolves, what will he do to the young players at the Sixers?
Cyrus, let's just keep it 150.
Okay, 150 it is.
We've had discussions and disagreed on certain points in this, but I will tell you this. Personally, from watching, I think Andrew Wiggins and Karl-Anthony Towns are not performing at the level they should be at this time.
And basically Jimmy Butler said, you're not doing that.
These are two Rookie of the Year guys, not contenders, winners of Rookie of the Year, but the kind of performances they're putting up. Andrew Wiggins blows hot and cold. Today he can have a fantastic double-double, close to a triple-double. Next day he puts up single figures across the board. Karl-Anthony Towns, he should be heading in the same direction as a Joel Embiid at this point in his career. But look at him now. And I think now that he's at the Sixers, you've got a Joel Embiid who's performing at peak. You've got another Rookie of the Year in Ben Simmons, who's fantastic. You've got a first-round #1 draft pick in Markel Fultz, who's working himself to good health. I think with these guys, if you will, he'll have an easier time. And I think that, to me, they strike me as the kind of squad that can learn from a Jimmy Butler. I think he goes there with the kind of respect on his back that they will. I mean, Jimmy Butler at the Bulls, even Jimmy Butler at the Timberwolves, this is an impact player.
He is. I think we're going to have to leave it there because Jimmy Butler's got to do work and we've got to watch what he does. Make sure you're watching the Post-Up Show and also interact with us on social. Please, we need you to send in your tweets. Holler at us on Instagram.
Even if you disagree with us, we don't mind.
No, especially if you disagree with us. We want to know what you have to say. That's at Post-Up Podcast on Instagram and on Twitter. We're going to see you again next time.
And if you do disagree, hashtag Cyrus J. Rogers.
It's a four-time All-Star joining two of the NBA's youngest and brightest. Well, now with the addition of Jimmy Butler, it's become the Big Three.
It feels great. I love the game of basketball. I know I'm going to love this city. I hope this city loves me just as much.
And at the other guard, 6'8", from Marquette, number 23, Jimmy Butler.
Embiid to Butler through the back door, and that's his first bucket as a Sixer. Boy, you could hear a lot of Sixer fans here cheering that one. Butler got it. Jimmy Butler in his Sixer debut, hitting his first 3 shots from the floor. He's got 8.
I'll tell you right now, I'm not the most talented guy. I'm not the best shooter. I'm not the fastest runner or the highest jumper. I just think that I just play hard. I think the city's gonna love that about me.
Butler all the way in, deposits to Jimmy Butler. Brings so many intangibles along with all the numbers.
He's cool. He wants to be here. He wants to work. He's a positive guy in the locker room, and he's one of the first guys in the gym, which we love.
He's disappointed to lose with Jimmy's first game, but there are a lot of good things you could see that can happen.
Yeah, we just came up a little bit short. We're okay. Back to the drawing boards to practice. Get a dub next time.